Welcome, welcome, welcome. Adriane here from the beautiful island of Bali, your quantum love coach, greeting you from Indonesia. The weather is becoming rainy again. It's a pre-announcement to a rain season that is apparently starting far too early. Like all the weathers have changed around the globe, so also here in Indonesia, it's happening far too early, and I hope that the South Pacific is experiencing a really beautiful spring and an early summer. So we have a full moon coming up in Pisces, and I meet you today for our monthly Q&A. Pisces is a water sign. It's a very emotionally fulfilling, charged star sign. People born in Pisces usually tend to be incredibly close to their inner feelings and to the world that is projected from inside out. So yeah, I think Pisces gives us an opportunity as a frequency to get for a moment really raw and real to whether what we see or not see or feel projected towards us or not is real or not real. Yeah, what's reality? What's a dream? And also with that, what's a dream comes the wonderful opportunity to be much more imaginative and having interesting new things developing in our own life, if we are willing to let the imagination go into a space where, the vortex allows the power of the divine making things happen for us without we actually physically or mentally doing something about it. I would like to start with our beautiful 3 cards I always use. This time I want to use the Moonology deck because that energy is so close to Pisces. The moon energy is very, 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 very internalizing. So I just get 3 cards for us, and that gives us a little bit of a foundation for what comes up in the next few weeks. All right. So the first card I'm having here for you is the answers you need are coming. And I think I can really relate to that quite a few of us, or many of us, have been in a space where we knew the old can't persist. We can't stay where we are. But it's this funny twilight zone where we had not much new perspective. And that's not about the greater vision, and that's not even about the purpose, but sometimes it's just the how, how I know that the old way of doing something is not working for me any longer. So how would I do it differently to have different results, which is a very, very powerful coaching question. What can I do, to have different results in life? The second card that's coming up, a win-win outcome, is in forecast. And that is really, really a very empowering message, regardless of where we are at right now, even if we feel a little bit delusionary and unclear. And this Pisces energy and the full moon in Pisces can do this very much to all of us as human beings. And the third card is you are good enough. And that's really almost like a prelude of the energy coming very, very soon, as the new moon is a new moon in Libra. And the new moon in Libra is apparently an incredibly powerful and transformational new moon this year. And it will happen towards the end of September. And I think many of us who are in relationships, whether this is business, friends, circles of influence, and our intimate partners, family members, that's often the one belief that is absolutely necessary to stand our ground when things don't go the way we actually would like them to go. And when there's disharmony and we are begging down, or we are giving up, or we are making ourselves the victim and giving someone else the power to give us a kind of a signal that we are not good enough, but ultimately we very much are good enough. And that is a full moon in Virgo. And we are still in Virgo, phase right now. It's September, and it so vibrates together with this, Pisces energy that comes from the moon. So I want to talk today about 3 things, and I start with the first question. And I mentioned this a little bit in the last month, that dating in 2022 has become quite different. There's a little video here on my YouTube as well, where I describe the changes I observe, particularly under the light, that I have been interviewed a few times by New Zealand radio stations and individuals regarding how to date, where to find new dates, where can we go at this stage of our development when we come out of 2 or 3 years of COVID-19 and being locked up and having not been very, very, much able to engage too much on a physical or personal level. So the fast forwarding is really a new expression in the dating world that talks about our ability to get crystal clear what we want and what we need in a relationship before we even start seeing someone. So it's almost like a preparation sheet where you get 100%, prepared in making clear that is what is absolutely necessary for you to even start a conversation with someone, to begin the conversation that could become a more intimate conversation or not. So fast forwarding is basically you go on a first date and don't waste time. You don't waste time. You are very clear, you're very, very precise and very, very focused on expressing to the other person that you don't want to waste time. And if there's a resonance in the other person's heart and mind that gives you the chance to really, really feel that you're understood, then maybe that's a foundation for building that connection to the next level. But I think it's incredibly important that fast forwarding is not happening in a too stubborn or in a too, resistant way, because we need to have a part in us where we are willing to let things unfold and be curious and be innocently open to let new energies come our way, so that a person who might be interested in who we are really, really feels confident to speak about who they are themselves. Now, I hope this explains it a little bit. So that's also an invitation to look into what is actually love coaching. I think love coaching is often very, very, very much misunderstood. And I think the best way to describe it is, let's just simply look at the fundamental differences of coaching and counseling. So coaching is really a very motivational, a very, very future-driven, and a very, very action-oriented process, whereby counseling deals much, much more with the emotional and mental state of a person who just needs someone to clarify where they're at and how they can change the situation from a more internal perspective. Coaching leads from the internal to the external and really, really asks you to become incredibly clear over the process of time to what it is that is, important in your love life. So I think it's even, just this win-win card is already giving a little bit of an answer. Coaching is a lot about a win-win, whereby counseling is usually much more self-focused and really, really helping a person to be more in tune and comfortable with whatever is going on right now. But in counseling, very, very rarely is discussed how you can build something much more life-changing and fundamentally, life-guiding in comparison to what, counseling could offer you. And number 3 is a tip how to actually find your right love coach. I mean, love coaching and coaching often go together, life and love coaching, but even business coaching and love coaching goes very often together. I know that very well from my own job and from my own business and from my own life and my own experiences. But how to find a really great love coach and how to distinct a love coach from another coach. I would say the questions you need to ask your love coach you maybe wish to hire to help you in your life is how truthfully they actually are connected in their very own life to the subject of changing their love life to the better. Yeah, I think you want a person who walks their talk. You want a person who is also packed with a good amount of life experience to really understand different subjects and different areas that come into play when you talk about your own relationships and your love life with someone who is willing to support you. So it's a very, very, very important thing to get crystal clear about your own needs within the coaching process before you go into a tantrum in which you get very critical about external things, or how much that could cost, or how difficult it is to really make time to make changes for your own life. I think, take time to assess for yourself whether the kind of offering that person, that coach is making to you is really, really in resonance to what you currently want and need in your very own life. And I can really speak about my very own experiences. I'm actually currently in the process of hiring a new coach for myself. And I have worked with many coaches, extremely powerful coaches. And in the last few weeks and months, it became crystal clear for me that after this COVID period, I needed to find a new person supporting me. And I looked in all the traditional corners. I connected with a number of really amazing coaches who have fantastic ways of helping business people and also love coaches. However, it became clear to me that there was another dimension I needed to find, opening to a kind of a teacher, a mentor, and a coach who is very, very much prepared to go in a much deeper and much more unconventional area with me of my own life and my own development than what a lot of traditional coaches offer. And I believe I have found this coach now, which is incredibly empowering, but it was almost coming to me through a webcast I watched online. And it was something that was mystically, perfectly harmonizing the moment I got the message that this is a person I need to look into and explore whether this coaching relationship is something that could really, really support me. And it was a match, it is a match. And that's something that is hugely powerful. That's like you go on a first date when you have a discovery call with your coach and you realize, oh my God, there is something going on. We have some sparks flying around here. And it's like that, when you go on a first date, and it's when you go on the first date with a coach, it has to have that feeling that you really, really enjoy the conversation, that you really, really be taken in by this person for who you really, really are. And no coach ever can start from a place that you are not enough, but it's always a place that person, that coach sees in you, not just 100%, I think the 150% potential to have absolutely everything you desire in your love life and in all your relationships in and around you. And I think that is something that is incredibly powerfully important. So I trust I inspire you here on a very different level to what we usually would discuss. I could speak much more about Bali, about what's happening here right now. But right now I'm getting almost a feeling like I want to keep it in this contained space, but I would like to make a huge announcement. So the Love and Coaching book, co-written with Dr. John Gray, is finally coming out, will be published and released on the 20th September of this year. So we are ready. We coaches, I think around 20 of us, got this amazing invitation and opportunity to join John Gray to write another edition of Love and Coaching. And having just spoken about the difference between love and coaching, I think we are in a fantastic new space to explore how this could work well for you, okay? Maybe you never had love coaching or coaching in your life before and would like to explore it. So this book is a great start. I will come out and make everything very, very clear to everybody where you can buy the book and what's the way of even pre-ordering it. If you want to pre-order, just text us or email us, and I will make sure you get the message first before everybody else. But what I want to say is it's really about a wonderful opportunity to have the book, and with the book, the invitation to almost choose the right coach for you. And we are 20 very different people. And John Gray is a very, very great person. So we all have a lot to offer, but there might be one chapter, and it might be my chapter, that is very intriguing for you. I personally speak about, the quantum field of relationships in my chapter. As I'm a quantum love coach, I talk about the astrology space and the astronomy space, and where the energies of Mars and Venus, have a very, very big impact in our life. And I also share about the mystical relationship to Bali, and how Bali actually is really, really a power place to heal relationships, and absolutely, invites you to come here and be yourself and have my support in healing. And one of the last sentences of this chapter I wrote is actually, what are you ready for to let go? Is that something you are intending to do? What would you like to release? And I just grabbed another Moonology card, and look what just came up. It came up, what do you need to release? And that's a waning moon. So yes, we're all in a big, 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 phase of letting go. I think humanity is called to get comfortable with letting go and releasing the old, and not too much eagerly create something new without the wisdom and without the inner knowledge and the inner preparation to do it with the right intention. I think, we're used to be very fast acting and very, very, as I said about fast forwarding before, it's not about doing it fast in the sense of speediness, but fast meaning you get clear, you release something fast in order for the forwarding to happen in a much more in sync, clear and focused, and ultimately effective and wholesome and happy way. I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful month of September into October, and I'll see you at the next full moon in October. Meanwhile, because this book will be released and I will be much more going public over the next 2 to 3 weeks and onwards, there will become many more videos and YouTube presentations available. I wish you all the best and hope that everything is going well for you wherever you are in the world, and with love and blessings.